Have you ever wondered if there's a hidden feature in Ableton that you haven't discovered yet that could change the way you make music forever? What's going on, guys? I'm Fearless, and there's a couple key features that I've recently discovered in Ableton that every single producer needs to know right away. Now, you might know one or two of these, but keep on watching all the way through, because if you're missing any one of these features, you could be wasting tons of time in Ableton without even knowing it. So without any further ado, let's jump right into it. Now, the first one we have to take a look at is the MIDI arrangement overdub. And what this allows you to do is draw in notes over top of the ones that already exist. First, you're going to go ahead and click this plus button right here. And while that's enabled, you're good to go, fam. Just hit record and start playing your top notes, and it's really that easy. Let's try it out. Let's check out what it just did. Boom. As you can see, it just put in these notes and it left in the ones that we already had without just writing over them completely. So all you have to do is leave this enabled and it'll work for you automatically. Now, a lot of you may already know this one, but we have to talk about it because it's so dang important, just in case somebody doesn't know about it. And that's the capture MIDI feature. So Ableton is always recording the MIDI that you play in the background. So if you play something dope on the piano and you weren't recording, you can still get what you played. Check this out. I'm going to go ahead and just start playing some notes on the piano here, and then watch as we capture that in the background. So all you're going to do is you're going to go up here, and when this is enabled and not grayed out, that means you can go ahead and click it, and Ableton's going to show you what you just played. Boom, and there you go. Ableton captured those horrible notes that I just played down. Well, you're probably only going to use this when you actually write something good, but you get the point. Next, every producer needs to be recording in 32-bit WAV file format. And that's because if you accidentally record an instrument or your vocals and it happens to go above 0 dB, by default, if you're not using 32-bit WAV, you're going to lose all that information that's clipping over 0 dB. The first thing you're going to want to do is go into your Ableton Live preferences, and we're going to go ahead and change this setting. We're going to go into the record, warp, and launch section right here, and you're going to want to make sure that WAV is selected and you got 32 bits. Okay, the next way we're going to take a look at is when you're exporting your beats. For instance, you'll notice in our drum kits, all of our 808s are hitting above 0 dB. So this is how we're able to do that without clipping off all the 808s. Let's go ahead and grab one of the 808s and we'll drag it out onto this audio track right here. And let's take a look at how high it's hitting on the meter. You can see it's hitting 5 over 0 dB right there, and we're not losing any information. You can see that it's clipping right here at the transient of the 808 because that's where it chops off the waveform in this sampler. But if we go ahead and turn this down, you'll notice that it's not flat. It keeps going. Look, it's still going. It's still going. It's still going. Yeah, we saved all of that. Now, what you're going to do is when you're exporting this, you're obviously going to go into your File, Export, Audio, Video settings in Ableton. And then what you're going to want to do is you're going to go ahead and turn on the WAV file, and you're going to set your 32-bar flow or 32-bit depth right here when you export. What the heck am I saying? This next one we're talking about is the ultimate preset sauce. So basically what you're going to be doing is saving your favorite instruments with the effects that you always use on them, so that all you can do is double click and they're loaded into your project. Now, what you can do with that is make an Ableton audio effect track. So here you can see I have an 808 effect track with a tuner on it, and I also have an EQ boosting the perfect range on the spins, as well as a saturator. And you can get crazy with these effect tracks. You can see that I have knobs here, so I can go ahead and control only the parameters that I really want to dial in that 808 perfectly, and I can assign them all however I want here. And that's not it. You can go way deeper into this stuff. Now, in our new drum kit called Blizzard Storm, I put an effect rack for the 808, the clap, the snare, the hi-hat, the open hat, all the drum sounds that are perfect and ready to go out of the box. And also, what's dope about this is, let's say I don't want to use the spins in this kit. I can go ahead and pick a different 808. Maybe I like that one, and I can just slide it in here, and boom, it's still got all of my perfect effects applied, and I could just dial it in really quick if I wanted it to. So for instance, if I go ahead and delete everything that's on this 808 track, and I go ahead and click on this 808 effect track, and I press play, it's going to be good out of the box. Guys, if you like those ones, we got some crazy ones coming up next. But do me a favor and slap the like button on this video and subscribe to the channel if you're new here, because we're uploading videos like this every single week to help you get further in your production career. Now let's get back into the video. As a producer, your ideas are worth $1 million, but the problem with that is your ideas come and go so fast that you need to jot them down or do something so you don't forget them right away. So did you know that in Ableton you can actually leave notes on your beats when you have these ideas so that you can go back later and you don't forget anything? Let me show you how. All you're gonna do is set locators. So let's say at this part of the beat right here, I have an idea for how I want to edit or mix down this part. What I can do is click up here at the set, and it's gonna set a locator in my beat. And now what I can do is I can go ahead and edit the info text. So maybe I say something like, okay, the 808 needs to be mixed down at 200 hertz or something like that. You can go ahead and set the info text. You can also go ahead and rename it and give it a name. So you could be like, this is the 808 mixing idea that I had. And guys, when you click on it right here, you'll notice down here you have your info text, right? Let me hover above it. It says 808 needs to be mixed at 200 hertz. So that's where it's showing up. And if that's not showing up for you, you need to go ahead and make sure that you click this arrow up. So you probably noticed that when you save your Ableton projects, it links all of the sounds that you use to the different folders on your computer. But what happens if you delete a folder or rename it or move it to a different spot? You'll notice when you open up Ableton, it'll say, oh, all of these links are missing, blah, 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 blah. And either you can go and try to find all those sounds from scratch, or you can do something even better. What you can do is make sure every beat is backed up by going to File, Collect All, and Save. And then you're going to want to just press yes on everything. And this is going to save all your presets, all of your sounds, all the user libraries, and everything that's involved with this. And then you're going to just press OK, and Ableton's going to take just a second or two and save all of that to your project file. All right, guys, here is my project file right here. Now let's take a look. Let's go under samples. We can go under imported, and it's going to show you all the samples that I used in this file. Yeah, all of them. And even if I recorded any of them, they would be in this folder right here, but I didn't record any. So there you go. And all of your info, your project info, and everything is in here. Here's one right here called Middle of the Night. And as you can see, it doesn't have that samples folder, and it's not as complete as the other one. And that's because I didn't collect all and save on that project. So this can also be super useful if you're collaborating with someone else that has Ableton. So music production takes up a ton of CPU, and if you don't have a brand new computer or a ton of money to go out and buy one, you need to be very careful with the CPU you're using. And Ableton 11 just stepped up its game on how you can target the CPU that's being used in your beat and eliminate it super quick. Let me show you how. So what you can do is you can actually go into this side panel right here, and you can toggle on the CPU emitter. Just click on this right here, and you'll notice this bar thing goes underneath all of the tracks. Now let's go ahead and play this so you can see what it's doing. Boom. You see how all of these light up? Let's do that one more time. All of these light up. So the ones that have a ton of bars going off are using way more CPU than the ones that aren't. So this bells and this piano one are absolutely going off on the CPU. So if I wanted to fix this in my project because my project's just too CPU intensive and it's slowing down, I can literally just freeze and flatten both of these here, freeze tracks, and then I can go ahead and flatten them when it's done, and it's not going to use even a quarter of that CPU anymore. This next one is going to get you guys so excited, and I always save the best for last because if you're still watching, I love you so much, you have no idea. This one is a game changer, so let me show you exactly what it is. So if you didn't know, if you go into your packs right here under places, Ableton has a ton of free packs for you, and that's going to be different instruments, different plugins, and different sample packs and drum kits and all of that stuff for free under your account on the Ableton website. What you can do is you can go here and you can go to ableton.com. You can just click this and it's going to open up the ableton.com website. All right, guys, don't steal my license information, but you can see what license you have under your account information just by clicking that link and making sure that you're logged into your account. And then we can go down a little bit further and you can see all of the packs that I've been talking about. So we got Beat Tools, APC Step Sequencer, and let's just keep going down. Look at all this. You got Brashed Instruments by Spitfire, aka Spitfire Audio is one of the best, highest quality instruments ever. So if you need some instruments for free, download these Spitfire ones because they are super dope, fam. You got brass, build and drop. Some of these have crazy names and you really just got to click on it and see what it is. So this one's saying it's a creative toolbox for creating irresistible anticipation and release in this music. So let's take a look. It's got 140 instrument racks. It's got 15 drum racks, 250 plus audio loops and MIDI clips, and 8 effect racks. You got CV tools here, and these are Ableton plugins that work right in the browser, just like the stock Ableton plugins, as you can see in this demo image right here. You got connection kits, you got special different kinds of reverbs, creative extensions. These are just sound packs like Drive and Glow, Drone Lab. You have drum samples, drum booth, if you need to lay down some realistic sounding drums, drum essentials, electric keyboards, grand pianos, and the list goes on and on and on. And all of this is free and included with your Ableton license. Now, I do have to let you know that some of these require you to have the Ableton Suite version, which I believe is the most expensive version, but a lot of these you don't. As long as you have a basic Ableton license, most of these are going to be free for you. One of the downloads was this surround panner here, and you can actually get surround sound panning and go all in a 360-degree view with whatever instrument you want to put this on. All right, and this pitch drop one right here is dope if you want to get that vinyl pitch stopping effect, tape effect. Check this out. And you can modulate that in your beat to play at the perfect time and then turn off. Guys, and if you thought all of those features were crazy, go ahead and watch this video and make sure you're not missing out on any of these features as well, because they're just as crazy. And guys, always remember that consistency is the biggest catalyst for success. So all you have to do is show up with a positive mentality every day, and everything in this world is yours for the taking. Peace out.